have a lot of great options for Bulldog to punish this. We've seen it attempted Tristana used into it, as the Aurelion Soul rework has not come through.
Ooh,
yet.
This is very interesting. It gives you great CC. It's a lot of damage in the longer fights where you sit on top of a Renekton who wants to run at you and a Kali who wants to run at you. But it is going to really struggle into Heimerdinger. It is going to really struggle into Sejuani, right? And the range of the Caitlyn can make this Swain's life miserable here. Bulldog is going to have a lot of problems if he is the one, in fact, getting picked by all of that CC. He's going to have a Maokai to back him up. There's great front line here, and the follow-up damage is real on this Jhin. But I think D plus Gia, even though it was a bit of a rocky road in this draft and the Akali had to be picked face up here, I like their draft more. I mean, Caitlyn's power right now just cannot be ignored.
No, it's absolutely true. And Bulldog is, I've got like Chronicler on, like sending messages, super excited about the Bulldog Swain. I don't know whether this is a great Swain angle, but he is definitely a fantastic Swain player. And we'll see whether the Swain is going to work out. The thing that I'm a little bit worried about here for CV Max's Kwangdong Freaks is lack of damage.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, where is it going to come from?
You really need the Swain to be god tier, untouchable, just constantly up in the front lines, beating the Renekton out, and that's going to come from chain CC. And never moves have to be crisp, they have to be non-stop, and you cannot fall behind ever, period, in any lane in this draft. If you fall behind on the Swain, he's useless. You fall behind on the Jax, he's useless. You're running a Jhin Karma lane with Maokai, so there's a lot of utility, but where is the punch? There's a lot of setup, but who's going to spike the volleyball, you know? And
yeah.
That's the question that has to be answered in longer fights. I think the complexity of the execution of Kwangdong's draft is so high. It's already impressive enough they took a win off of D plus Kia, but if they win with this draft, we got to look at this team differently.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm going to look at them differently anyway, because this week, a 2-0 over KT that we saw just in our previous series can play very good League of Legends. And now, being able to take D plus Kia the distance, this is a draft that can be difficult to play out, but they have the Maokai who's been so popular. See how they can do up against D plus Kia here in Game 3. Okay, the Astronaut Maokai for a little bit of a change up here, throwing aliens around the rift. I'm kind of into it. Would have really loved it if it could have been, you know, Astronaut versus Astronaut. You could have taken the Alien Invader Heimerdinger as well, but sometimes Atlas doesn't get what he wants.
At least it's kind of the right Sejuani skin for the theme, a little bit.
Yeah, bit of a vibe.
No Sylas in this game, but still a lot of level 1 respect being shown here. Akali obviously not going to have that much power here.
Yep.
Zeph just reminding everyone that he is playing Caitlyn, and this never happens, and it's a rare occasion, so you should just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just celebrating. Sometimes you gotta work out, make sure that you're ready to lift that gun over and over again.
It's making the gun look like a fishing pole.
Yeah, it's good. Jax is in the game. It's on theme. I'm into it. Not the fishing skin. It's a little bit sad, but that's fine. What you gonna do? One of the oldest Renekton skins to be picked up here by Canna, as Bulldog is just going to wander into this lane. Let's see how he goes into the Akali. It can be very difficult for the Akali early. Sith Lightning, as well as the Never Move, really being difficult to play around. Conqueror
here in this as well for longevity, as well as the Scorch here for some of these aggressive trades where just constantly trying to get that extra mana. It's your mana flow ban. It's very easy to play this one out in the early game, as you say. It's the later parts of the game where it becomes incredibly difficult into this composition for D+ that has a lot of CC and a lot of long-term damage.
Yeah.
It's playing into the Heimerdinger turrets with a essentially like melee. Bulldog's an ult button, right? He can go for his never moves, he presses R, and then he's like, I hope I just keep staying in R. Because when the R stops, we lose. Kind of team fighting later on can be very difficult to navigate when you're walking into Caitlyn, who has so much range, the Heimerdinger turrets, and the ability for Canyon to just say, I stopped you with my ult.
Well, Dudu going to find a counter-strike leap strike onto Canna. A lot of striking that Jax does. I guess it does make a fair bit of sense. Canna playing pretty subdued. You can see that the last game kind of has affected him. You can see it in his play. We'll see whether D+ Kia can get him into a position where he's able to compete. As Bulldog spots Canyon out, he's playing to the correct side of the lane. See whether he is forced to use anything. As yep, there's the Ghost out from the Swain. One of the cooldowns, just one of them.
Yeah, it won't be too impactful, of course, in the Akali matchup to lose that one to the gank, so just going to get out of there easy peasy. Yeah, I agree with your point on Connie. You kind of took the words out of my mouth because I was going to mention it just watching how this laning phase is going already. A rough game 1 into a honestly disastrous game 2 is definitely going to hurt your confidence, right? You could see it on Kana's face in the draft. He was kind of head in hands, a little bit frustrated, and something like that loss is going to take the break before D plus Kia's next match to recover from. Now, you can still recover here. You can still have a good game, but mentally, you're not in a good spot right now, and Dudu is the type of player who will just get bigger and bigger and bigger and punish you harder and harder and harder like this. Like, the pendulum is definitely on his side right now.
Yeah, and, you know, it is hard to fight a Jax with Counter-Strike at level 1, things like that, but you could see it. I felt like I could feel it in the way he was pressing his buttons.
Yeah.
Canada, though, holding the wave, not going to fall into Young Jay's trap, which is exactly the same one that Canyon set up in game 1. Man, it would have been pretty hilarious if he had have walked into a similar situation. Not going to happen this time, though, as Dudu moves up.
Wants to maybe get some sapling value here. I think it's pretty optimistic. I think Kanda's reading this extremely well. I mean, his teammate, Canyon, who set this up previously, has definitely done this a ton in scrims and is disgusted with him. It's just really hard to trick this guy right now, as frustrated as he may be.
Kellen looking for a grenade, gets a bit of damage with it, but no stun to come through. As, of course, the grenade into the trap combo that D plus Kia were going for is a rough one. We don't see Caitlyn getting through drafts very often, right? So haven't had to talk about the Caitlyn hiding a lane.
Relic shield for June here as well, and getting a little bit more health back, trying to trade more aggressively as Youngjae comes down pre-6.
Yeah, okay, Deft and Kellen, let's see whether they have to use their flashes to get out of this one. Deft doesn't just yet, but Kellen may just die. Jun taking a lot of damage, Deft looking for that one, but it's not going to happen. And Kana now actually able to get a push happening on that top side. Good net comes through. Taeyeon taking some damage, but Young Jay here just to shepherd the minion wave. Yeah, Deft isn't able to get anything done.
There's just no ward for the bottom lane here. D plus Kia pushing up that far. You know, expecting that Young Jay was top side there, it looks like, and then just not reading that he could get down there that quickly and just pass straight over. As a control ward here in the river for Guangdong Freaks, and they had the information that it's very unlikely Canyon is there, and they could just push forward and look for this play. It's really kind of non-committal here. He takes a long way around even, in fact, here. Some of that mid probably helping this happen. It's just as basic as no ward here. Heal gets used, but Kellen's left out to dry. Yep, Trap doesn't connect. Trap connects, maybe you get something more out of this, but it doesn't happen.
I kind of respect Kellen not flashing there as well. I think he knew that he was dead. The flash twisted advance comes in. You flash, you can bring the Young Jay towards the turret, I guess, but I don't know whether it would have been enough to actually secure a kill, and I think it definitely wouldn't have been enough to save his life. So allowing him to flash another day.
And ultimately, it's a kill going over to Young Jay. It's still a Jhin Karma lane. This is not going to break your back. And keeping that flash for a potential follow-up gank is going to be pretty huge. And Deft and Kellen are just going back to business as usual here.
Yeah. Taeyeon and Jun with some control of the wave for now.
The follow-up gank with Maokai at level 6 is where the Jhin synergy with Maokai really comes online, where you just lock him in place, follow up, and then ult. You follow up with the flourish. Man, Bulldog's position in lane is so good. Showmaker's just trying to push this wave over and bait him in. Canyon sweeps, knows there's no ward, and Bulldog is just like, I know exactly where I need to be.
Well, Bulldog gonna ghost yet again. Canyon just seems to be coming in and collecting a ghost cooldown and then leaving. Seems to be
no further elaboration.
Yeah, Young Jay gonna move on up as let's see how many slices and dices Kana has to get out of this one. He is gonna dominus. Alcove Gaming will ensue as he does have a lot of Fury charged up. There's the flash forward. Canyon moves in. There's the stun and Kana turns it. Redemption for the D plus Kia top laner, and Showmaker is now gonna take down Dudu. Able to backflip his way back out, and the show doesn't stop there. Jun is now taking a lot of damage on the bottom side. Guangdong Freaks in trouble here. D plus Kia, they can make those proactive plays.
That was such a long wraparound from Canyon there to save Kana. Gets over there and helps him out. And this is just the top lane being completely duped here. Young Jay and Dudu thinking they have an opportunity. Like you said, so much time bought by Kana. Redemption is real here. June.
Yeah, he's going to eat some honey fruit as Kellen, he's going to flash now. Taeyeon's going to flash after him though. Couple more bullets available. The fourth one will pierce the Heimerdinger, and Deft Not enough damage to get too much back. There's the flash forward. Can he find it? Yes, he can. That's why you ban his
There's no flash,
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Jun's not going to flash, but Youngjae is going to be there in order to block the ace in the hole, but still.
The Heimer turret damage is so hard to actually flash forward and commit to a play like this. And Jin extremely immobile, even with his Swifties here. He's got now definitely an aggressive play here that had a high chance of backfiring, even though they got the kill. It could have been even worse. As Kana just buys a ton of time here. Dudu trying to get on top of him here and locking him down. And so much time is wasted. Dominus comes in when the root is there with a follow-up stun. Kana gets the Q, survives through, and Canyon comes over. Showmaker here too, just to guarantee the play. And it's so much gold now given to the solo laners here of D plus Kia, turning this play that was very aggressive into a huge success. And then down here, Kellen looks like, okay, you goofed, man. You went too far on this one, get caught by the root. But there's just so much damage in this duo, and he drops the turret down. And Contagion is going to take so much damage here from this turret before he gets out. Has to dodge the trap, so it takes a little bit longer to walk through, and can't catch up. Flash for this. Yeah. And luckily, Youngjae blocks the ult.
Yeah, otherwise that was a very dead Karma. So Canyon fighting with Dudu here towards the top side. His lead is only extending as Canyon comes down bottom side. The real benefactor in this whole situation should theoretically be Deft, but he's still down a little bit as far as farm is concerned as Canna is fighting Dudu. Counter-Strike comes in and actually, I believe, blocked a whole bunch of that Ruthless Predator, which feels very nice.
Does feel good. Bulldog here, just sitting on 2 Amp Tomes and Merc Treads. You know, it's going to be a very long time before he gets online. He hasn't been able to impact any skirmishes. Rift Herald went over to D plus Kia from that topside play. So they have so much control on the map right now. And we talked about how if you fall a little bit behind with this draft, it's unplayable. And this is kind of where we are at this moment in time. It's not impossible to win this as Kwangdong Freaks. There are some potential crazy moments that could happen with Youngjae, but he can't hit that level 6 timing for the gank that he wants to. He's coming down a little bit late here, but guess who's also here? Canyon.
Yeah.
The Jin Maokai synergy we talked about.
Well, Kellen, Deadly Flourish is going to come in, but there's the Arctic Assault, and now with this Nature's Grasp, let's see whether they can turn it. There's the flash to bring Youngjae over, but it's a great Bramble Smash, and look at all of the traps! They can't do anything about it! There we go, Jun taking the headshot. And D plus Kia turn it around. Showmaker is looking to clean this one up as well. Ace in the hole comes in. There's the flash forward. Lands the backflip. 5-point strike's good. And there's the perfect execution. Showmaker's Akali, always a joy. And there's the double kill.
This is such a telegraphed and readable play here for D plus Kia because you always want to look for that level 6 timing. As Youngjae loses out on topside, he can't then follow up because if Youngjae gets that kill topside on Kana, he just instantly goes bottom, he collapses onto Deft, and then they make the same play happen here without Canyon being there, or they can win the fight. But now Deft is just so far ahead. He's going to get the whole turret.
We've been watching this exact style of Caitlyn play since EDG Deft, all the way back in the day.
Forever ago.
You take him, you pick him up, you put him in front of turrets, and he will destroy them on Caitlyn and Tristana and Jinx. Has done it on Jinx as well. But
Lucian too?
Yeah, and Lucian, I guess.
More
but
recently.
It's generally these more sieging AD carries with the long range, like the Trist, like the Kate, that can get work done in this earlier game.
And Youngjae wants to come over here, and Canyon's here first, and he's like, ooh, do we commit? Like, I guess I have to do this to try to save my bot lane. And there's just way too much damage to try to turn this around between the Heimerdinger and Deft on Caitlyn. Kellen doesn't even have 6, but you're sitting on traps and turrets and Qs, and this is just the most like high DPS density you could ever ask for. And Showmaker, who has control of mid now, is just like, well, this is double, man. This is free. Thank you so much. And Bulldog's like, this is not even my fault. I picked Swain, and maybe it's not going to be good in this draft, but it's not because I misplayed it.
Well, now we've got more fighting going on. Canyon's at full health. There's the flash forward from Canna. Looks for Taeyon, but immediately cleanses. Is it going to be enough? The permafrost comes in. Nature's Grasp to be used is Youngjae. Very defensive on that one. And this is what we were talking about. Pick up your Caitlyn, put her in a lane with Turret. Turret going to go down. Another 2 minutes until plates fall, Wolf.
Yeah, we were talking about how we were like, oh man, Kana looks a little bit subdued, but he pulled the wave back early, has played the lane very well, and a lot of this game has just been about him winning the whole map from that turn play there with Canyon. And it's just dichotomy of Kana. He's either going to mess it up in the 1v1 without resources, but if Canyon is there with him, if he has Canyon's support, the man looks possessed. He's going to get value. He's going to get massive leads. He's 30 CS up now, 35. Got the whole turret down. They've gotten the bottom turret deleted. What can D plus Kia not do now with the map? They have an Akali. who's randomly just been gifted skirmishes to get kills, and now she can run around the map and kill everybody. There's no damage here. This Jax is useless. And I didn't want to say it in this series, but this game is over.
I think it might be. It's definitely not looking great, but it is certainly a great look for Canada. To turn it, immediately gets the cleanse out of Taeyun here. Has the dice available as well. Permafrost, very, very strong.
Youngjae defensively ulting here, but that's all you could do. I mean, it's a level 7 Jin here with no items. A Warhammer and a Dirk.
And a dream.
And hopes and prayers from all the Guangdong fans.
Yeah, it's certainly not working out so well. I don't want to talk about the Jin Karma, so I'm just not going to do it. I was very upset about it.
Look,
a few days ago.
It's risky, and it can work, but when you fall this behind and Youngjae can't hit his level 6 timing, because if Youngjae kills Kana top and then comes straight back down bottom, Deft either dies, or one of the bottom duo dies, or you lose prio in the lane, you lose control. But he's behind the play, because Kana's ahead of it. Or, excuse me, Canyon is ahead of it. Kana's ahead of the top side, gets the whole turret. Yep. And you're winning on both sides because Canyon has been given the agency here.
Well, plates just fell down. Deft was unable to take all of them in the mid lane as well as the top and bottom lane, so I expect better. But that's okay. Going to be now rotating towards this top side of the map. Youngjae and Bulldog up here trying to deal with Showmaker as the first Drake does go over here to D+ here. Cloud. And there is the Chemtech Drake next. So we're not going to get another Chemtech solve. Means none of these massive plants all over the place. A happier Valdez in the space after we do finish this game. It's all in all a great thing.
You know, the Chemtech Drake was one that we all dreaded to see Soul in the old days with the original one.
Yeah, I know.
It's too strong, and now it's so weak that we dread to see it as well.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
For the wrong reasons, but they're for the opposite reasons. You know, we're happy to see that one as the solo Drake. Solo elemental by itself.
Well, this Rift Herald going to be started up, and already bounties have been put on the Rift for Guangdong Freaks. They are 6,000 gold behind. And in the last game, DK's issue was having enough turrets taken. This time, definitely not their issue.
Nope.
They are having a lot more success destroying these structures. And with this early game control, it's just about snowballing, getting themselves into a good position. And we've not really seen too much from this Swain so far. Of course, it is difficult. You need to find those team fight availabilities and things like that. And with the fact that this chaos has been sown into the Rift so severely by D+ Kia already, it's going to be difficult for Bulldog to find that avenue.
We could talk about his build because he went for Merc Treads early. We know that was going to be the outcome of the build versus all the frontlining, right? You need to make sure that you have that extra tenacity because you need to be the guy who's living forever and just walking towards the enemy with the Leandries.
Yep.
Into what will be very likely Rylai's, the old Swain build when Swain got reworked last year, where we were seeing it a lot. We haven't seen that build just yet really in the LCK. It's been a little bit more utility because, you know, it hasn't been drafts like this where you need the damage. This is the one where he absolutely needs to build Mask into Leandries because you need the slows, you need that burn damage, you need to live forever. But it's going to be a while before that's relevant.
Yep, you need to live at all is the real important part, as Perfect Execution is named weird as Bulldog. Now going to look for Showmaker. Demonic Ascension certainly working out, and
Akali designers taking strays out here.
Yeah, that was a little bit odd. I think Showmaker was right on the edge. Of course, the hitbox of Perfect Execution for the last hit feels bigger than it should be. Didn't look like.
When you watch pro gamers play it, it looks like it actually takes up the whole screen.
Yeah, right.
Always land those perfectly, but this time a little bit wide. But you can see the problems with Swain when he's caught out sides now, and when he's caught even in the jungle, is this Akali is so fat he can kill, Showmaker can kill all 5 players basically on the Rift right now, 1v1. Yeah, it might take a little bit longer for some of them, like Swain's going to take a long time, take a little time for Jax, and there's some outplay potential there, but Showmaker finds you, he will try to kill you, and if you don't have help, you have to hope that he misses. And in this case, does not connect. And Bulldog walks away, but this Fed Akali, it's a problem, Atlas.
It is. It is. If he had have hit that R button, I think that it's very, very dead. As Taeyun does have Cleanse available, uses it pretty late here. Didn't really want to put that one on cooldown. Inner turret's going to fall, as Deft is going to get snared. Oh, sorry, that was in fact Keller who got snared. And he isn't going to be too worried about it. D+ Kia now pushing into the enemy jungle. Canyon's taking things away. There are angry aliens flying around, but they're not really going to be able to do anything.
You can see the exasperation on some of the Kwangdong Freaks players' faces. June's still communicating here very well, but the win conditions have all been missed, and so is the draft unplayable? Practically, but you have to just kind of sit back here and give the whole map over the D+ Kia, and that's going to be the second break they stack here. Very late in the game, but still, they will have that advantage.
It's once again Kwangdong Freaks taking these draft experiments that we saw them take into T1, right? Like doing the thing that you're definitely not allowed to do. As Dudu is going to fight Canna here. Canyon in the area, permafrost available, and Kellen is going to be gifted the kill. He's the one with range. He's going to pick it up. And what I was going to say is they do the things that have been illegal, right? Which is leaving Ash up for carrier. As we saw in Game 1 yesterday against Nongshim, that is something that's absolutely illegal. Barris Ash for T1, also another thing that Kwangdong Freaks did into carrier. Definitely a problem as redemption for Showmaker, he finds it. That one was a little bit more perfect.
Yep, that one was definitely perfect. Yeah. Things you're not allowed to do, things that are illegal, is exist in the side lane in this comp. Because Bulldog and Dudu are both trying to be in a side lane, farming minions, getting experience points. Like, Dudu's like, who's out here trying to get experience points? And then he decides he's going in. No vision, no control. By the way, you don't win this 1v1. But you go out like this and you don't get away either.
No. Sometimes you got to go out with a bang, Wolf. I said bang and wolf at the same time. Did you hear that?
And you're doing it while it's an Afrika org over here.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Anyway, and I just finished talking about T1. Full circle. Glorious.
Honoring the history of
Indeed.
LCK players winning worlds.
As Kellen going to find some vision as we look towards a Baron that is spawning in 5 seconds time. Will we go over and take that one immediately? Maybe. Probably not, though. Showmaker here is towards the bottom side. They're in our mini waves.
Definitely need a little bit more control, but what you can do is clear vision around it and then threaten Akali flank angles. Showmaker has TP. He hasn't been forced to use it really at all defensively outside of the lane because that's where he gets his early back and he's just like, just stave off the Swain pressure. Now Showmaker can kill anyone 1v1, as we've discussed, as we have literally seen. One time he almost got the 1v1 kill, the second time he did. There's just not much to say here about what Kwangdong could do except sit back and hope for an overextension that may never come, as it is Ocean Soul and it's not that impactful, but you're losing your base because you can't even defend it. To walk out to be under turret is not safe, and that's when you really start to worry about how is Swain that needs to steamroll these team fights and never die, can't even walk up to an Akali. That's when you know it's probably doomed.
Yeah, and Showmaker here bullying a Jax under a turret as Akali kind of really tells you a lot about the game state right now. And you mentioned catching people overextended. How extended do you think you need to be on D+ Kia for it to be considered an overextend?
Maybe between a living inner turret, or rather inhibitor turret, and Nexus turrets. Like about where the inhibitor is alive right now in mid. Like if you're in there, that's probably illegal, but everywhere else is allowed.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of the map that D+ Kia can be.
Yeah, where you cannot be as Kwangdong Freaks to overextend is between your inner and inhibitor turret. Like,
yeah,
everywhere the light touches, everything you see, that is D+ Kia's kingdom.
Oh no! I can't even find the elephant graveyard, Wolf. It doesn't even exist.
It's Jax's kill score.
Oh no!
There's 3 Dudu husks, lonely with tusks sticking out of the Jax for some reason, and
it's not good.
By the way, look at Kana's build. He's just like, nah, no long-term fights, no Swain beating my ultimate. You know, Swain ultimate versus Renekton ultimate.
I feel like it's they're off theme though, right? Because one of them's like a chainsaw thing, and the other one's a flail. Feels like one's so medieval, the other one's like mechanical. It's got to work out which timeline he's in, you know?
Yeah, it is a little bit weird, isn't it? But is it a chainsaw, or is it just chainsaw shaped as a sword?
I mean, it's a chain sword, so like, I don't know. Where are chain swords from? Warhammer 40k, right? Space Marines?
I guess so, yeah.
Chaos Space Marines have chain swords.
That does seem right.
It's the gun swords, that's the Final Fantasy one, right? But the
yes.
chain swords, that's, I think that's Warhammer. I'm not sure. We'll have to talk to Henry Cavill about it, I think.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Final Fantasy VIII. Underappreciated.
I haven't actually played through Final Fantasy VIII. I think I need to.
It's very good. It's a game you can break, which I know is your thing. So.
Ooh, I'm into that. I did that with 12. Zodiac Age, I enjoyed a lot.
I haven't played that one yet. I'm on 11 right now, which is unbeatable, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, what are you going to do about that? Do you have to wait until the servers are turned off before you can stop playing and move on?
I'm stuck.
Oh, no.
Much as Quantum Freaks are stuck.
Yeah, good luck ever playing 15.
I don't know.
As Showmaker doesn't find the backflip on the turn here.
I don't know if Quantum Freaks win this game first or I beat Final Fantasy 11 first.
Yeah.
Which one is less likely is... Look, it's a game where D plus Kia here could just push lanes and take objectives on spawn. And Quantum Freaks need some sort of overextension, some sort of pick angle here. And that's not what this comp is designed to do this time. This is not the Jhin comp where you're like, oh, I got Sejuani ult. I've got Ashe arrows. This is not that kind of Jhin comp. You're just trying to outlast your opponent, but when you're this far behind, you don't.
Yeah. Deft also currently has an entire Infinity Edge advantage over a Jhin, who already has a relatively cheap item build. That kind of really does tell you how far ahead they are. 24 minutes in, 10,000 gold lead. Baron up and available as Deft just sidesteps the Never move quite nicely, starting to set up these traps. Peacemaker, not very peaceful, but does hit Bulldog there for a large portion of his health bar.
Even being out this far, Showmaker's like, ooh, juicy opportunity for me to just go through this team and delete them all. Yeah. And then when they back away, he's like, well, I'll just stick to the side lane. I'm almost level 16. Control wards here across 4 of the players of D plus Kia to set up provision on this Drake, but I don't think, frankly, they need it.
And Deft is like by himself.
Where's Shirelia's in?
Trying to hold on as Kellen throws a grenade. Peacemaker doesn't quite land there as Canyon. He's set up. Oh, they go on a journey. The Glacial Prison's fantastic. Showmaker, I think there was a Swain there, but I can't quite remember because he disappeared so quickly. A double kill immediately as the Karma also just gets eviscerated. In goes Canna. He's going to help topple the tree. Probably used his chainsaw for that one, so thematically that kind of works out, as now the Drake is going to be taken. That's Soul Point, but D plus Kia, I mean...
They get Baron too.
Yeah, it's about dotting J's and I's and crossing T's and stuff. I think this game is pretty...
They're putting the asterisk mark on Pokemon right now.
Yeah,
Nobody has ever done that unless it's official branding. This is the attempt to assassinate Kellen. And results-wise, he does not die.
Dudu flashed. Ace in the hole is going to come through there as the Baron has been started, and that's why they do let the Jax live for now. Yeah, that Baron's not going to last very long. Going to be taken out here. Shadow Flame already done. Showmaker very close to the Void Star for third item. My God, 6-0-0 on this Akali. Is this an Akali POG situation, or is it a Deft POG? Is Canyon, is it Canna?
It's hard because I was initially leaning towards Kana, but after the early game, he hasn't done too much. He's level 16. He's just been sitting in sides.
I mean, he's
been 2-0 and 3
so, like,
forever.
His time has concluded.
Yeah. So, like, there's an angle for that. Deft played that skirmish bottom side extremely well and kind of solidified his lead there. And then that skirmish led to Akali picking up a bunch of kills. It's really kind of a chicken and egg and crocodile situation.
It is.
Timeless problem here in the LCK.
Deft is one of the main reasons why they're winning so much, you know, heading around and collecting those turrets like you're talking about.
I feel like I'm leaning towards Deft right now.
I just really like watching his Caitlyn, though, so I think I have a bit of bias, you know?
You've never been biased towards Deft in your whole career.
No, I haven't. No, I actively try to avoid
never once.
Bias.
Bulldog is trying to get some bounty down here. It was shouted by Youngjae, but this is just identified by D+, and they have Baron buff, so they win these races. And it's still taking some time. Still chipping away. Still with the
first turret.
Spirit fingers over there, you know?
Bit of bounty gold is Canyon running forward, avoiding the deadly flourish. D+ here is, oh my goodness, that trap. What was that crit? It was absolutely insane. This turret is going to get taken down. D+ here broken open the base. Showmaker in the mid lane, trying to do the same thing, laning against this Jax. As Youngjae, oh, there are too many fires to put out, and he's a tree! They're not very good at putting out fires, Wolf. It's not how it goes. As he's going to try. Okay, Nature's Grasp comes in. One last chance, one last opportunity. The damage looks so high, though, as Bulldog, he goes into his Zhonya's, but he's immediately going to get taken down. As soon as you press that button, those traps, they start coming down. Dudu now just getting shot as Deft is just escorting them out of here. Another inhibitor turret goes, and I just think D+, the wallet diff is way too high right now.
There's a big wallet diff. It's a huge one. And I mean, there's so much to say about this game, but we might have to wait a little bit longer because these turrets are falling.
Oh, that's a great Arctic Assault to avoid Dudu getting the counter-strike on everyone. He's going to dive once more on top of Deft. Not really going to do too much. His canon's relatively low. They're going to escort all of these minions with the Baron buff.
The Bulldog,
30 seconds left. Bulldog, yeah, 10 seconds time.
He's got his Rylai's from the Death Chamber.
Well, Dudu is going to try and look for something more, but he backs away. No counter-strike value to be found.
Those cannon minions doing so much work.
Yeah, the trebuchets have been set up. But there's an ulti from Canyon. Not a lot of follow-up here from D+. Here is in goes Showmaker. Can he get into his Shroud in time? The answer is no. He just gets popped by Taeyun. That was a slight overextension, maybe a bit of added pizzazz they did in.
Where was he when he died? Right where I said.
And now D+, have to be wary of this flank. Dudu dives on top of Deft, but he moves out of the way. He's got the Gale Force, he's got so much, and once again, he's under no threat. Cannon's gonna get pulled back by the Never Move. There are minions destroying your base.
Yeah, this is the tragedy of Kwangdong in this third game, and they're trying so hard, and it's just not enough. Yeah. It's just not enough. Doesn't matter how low the health bars are. Doesn't matter how much they put onto that Akali and took him out there with a really nice counter-strike from Dudu, prepared for Showmaker to dash through. They are going to use the fountain to heal up, and it looks like the game will go on for a little bit longer here.
Just a little bit.
This is just... I mean, are we even going to show... This is a really long replay. As Kana goes low from this play, he has GA, by the way, so they have to kill him twice. Bulldog, this game is not his fault. This game is not his fault at all. Yeah, the pick was risky, but falling behind was not his issue. It was the other sides of the map where it went all bad. And right where I said, that's the one place we overextend, right? That's
yeah, I like that. That's like
it came true.
The beautiful trap set up, right? The shuriken backflip hits, and you're like, I will
counter-strike
away from you.
And then he tries to lock him down here, but there's just so much to deal with this Dudu. Where's the target selection?
And it's when a Caitlyn 1v1 like runs after a Jax, that's when you know things are going wrong. Deft 4 items now completed, Stormrazor done. I haven't seen that one since yesterday, as I believe it was 6th item bought by Viper.
Yeah,
Raven.
It was a game, honestly, Atlas, where things go wrong. Bottom side, things go wrong. Top side, Akali is the biggest victor. She wins by grabbing 3 kills early and ruling the map. And Bulldog is sitting here going like, I'm sure there's going to be like a red mark on the side on the Swain here on the post game analysis. We're like, I don't know about this pick, but it's not fair to criticize it in this game because it didn't actually get to function ever.
Yeah, and when you pick Jin Kami, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to.
I think this game was really defined by that failed gank top side, right?
Yeah,
where
and,
Youngjae loses control.
And also, sadly, like, kind of defined by not banning Caitlyn.
Yeah. Which is why I think Deft is going to get my POG.
Yeah. Because you give him this pick, and generally, they just win. As now D+ Kia pushing forward. No Nexus turrets are left alive. There is one stray inhibitor turret done, still up here on the bottom side of the map, but that is about it, as Canyon is super tanky. Just moving forward, in goes Canna. Let's see whether we can finish off this game. Core Drinker gets so much value. Like you say, he's got the GA available, as now the flashes are coming forward. Kellen's looking for even more. It's a double kill for Deft. Will you give him the Penta? Or will you just give him your Nexus, is sort of the trade here that we're asking for. They give him the Nexus, D+ Kia walk away with a 2-1.
Lots of relief on Kanna's face as he takes his headset off here. Rough start to the series, but a very solid finish. As I wouldn't call this a tragic loss for Kwangdong Freak. Sure, Game 3 is very one-sided, but you had a valiant attempt in Game 1. Game got a lot closer than it should have been. In Game 2, you dominated. You played your composition extremely well. Game 3, you took a chance. You took a risk with the Swain. And I think, as much as I think we will see some Showmaker media votes because he did a lot of damage and he's Akali and he swooped around the map.
No. It's Deft.
It's Deft. It is Deft in this game. And
this is 11 out of 11, 100%. There is no way.
Because Showmaker was just gifted opportunities and skirmishes that were already won to clean up.
Yeah.
And
honestly, everyone played really well. I think the Canna votes, if there are any, I'd like those two on an emotional level, right? Because Canna being able to bounce back is something he definitely wasn't very good at doing earlier on. So being able to now have this performance as well, you know, playing out the Renekton into Jax matchup very nicely, and happy to see Canna actually have a bounce back after, honestly, two pretty tough games against a Dudu performing well.
He's a little bashful there on cam when they come over to him, because it's one of those nights where you want to celebrate your win, but it's you won 2-1 against Guangdong. You were a big part of the struggles in games 1 and 2, and as much as the camera guy's like, hey, give me a thumbs up, he's like, I'm not ready for that yet. Now, bottom duo down here that defined game 3 so well and won those skirmishes super hard and got super ahead and took turrets off the